Hello, dear children. Welcome to the first digital class of English literature. I am Mahima Pradhan, your subject teacher for the session 2020 to 2021. I hope you all are keeping well and washing your hands regularly to be safe from all the harmful germs. And don't forget to stay home and be safe. Children, I'm going to teach you today Ivan's story from New Gulmohar. I have divided the story into two parts. The first part for the first day, that is day 1, and the second part for day 2. Let's begin. Day 1. Ivan's story, adopted from The One and Only Ivan by Catherine Applegate. Introduction. Children, when I am going to read the text, I am going to highlight it. So children, be very, you can catch up with me while I read this. Introduction. Ivan is a gorilla who lives in a cage at a mall. He has spent 27 years either living in a human home or at a mall. The story told by Ivan is about how he has nearly forgotten his life in the wild. The book was inspired by the true story of Ivan, who lived in a similar situation for 27 years. So, dear children, the story is written by Catherine Applegate, and the narrator of the story is Ivan, a gorilla. Ivan tells his story in two parts again, in the past and in the present. Now children, narrator is someone who narrates the story and writer is someone who writes it. Okay, so don't get confused. Here Ivan himself is narrating the story, which is written by Catherine Applegate, and the story is in first person. So children, I'm going to ask you 2 questions before we start the chapter, so that when we go through the chapter, when we receive knowledge from this chapter, at the end of it, you are able to answer those questions. Okay, so let's start. Children, have you ever given a thought to how does an animal feel when it is made to stay with humans, far away from its home, far away from its jungle or family? Let's say, how would a gorilla feel if he is made to stay with humans? Would he be happy? Or will he miss the jungle? For instance, let's say, if you are sent to the jungle to live with animals, to live with a troop of gorilla, how will you feel? Do you think you'll enjoy the company of gorillas, the way they live? Or you will miss home terribly and you would like to come back? With this, I'll brief you with the chapter first. So in this, Ivan in the past is named as Mud by his own natural parents. He is very happy living in the the rainforest of Central Africa. He enjoys playing tag with his twin sister, Tag. Now tag, there are 2 tags here. One tag is the name of the game and another tag is the name of his sister. Now you must be wondering what tag is. Tag is a game in which one player runs after others, chases others to touch them. So he says that he had a perfect life in the jungle. He lived among other gorilla in the natural habitat, that is the forest, and he was brought up by his own natural parents. And now, that is the present. In the present, the baby gorilla is called Ivan. The same gorilla who was named Mud by his parents is now called Ivan. He lives among people in the city. He is raised by his human foster parents. He enjoys both the life. Yet, he misses his home, his natural home. So with this, children, let's begin our story. The grunt. What does grunt mean? Grunt. A short, low sound made by the gorilla. It sounds like I was born in a place humans call Central Africa, in a dense rainforest, so beautiful no crayons could ever do justice. So here, Ivan, as he is the narrator, here I refers to Ivan. He says that he was born in a dense rainforest in Central Africa. Now, what is a rainforest? Rainforest is a forest that receives high and continuous rainfall. And it is very rich in vegetation. Now, this rainforest is in Central Africa, and Central Africa is a sub-region of the African continent. He says that he was born in a rainforest which was so beautiful that even if somebody would try to draw it, he would never be able to draw as beautiful or such beautiful rainforest as it is in reality. No crayons, no colors would ever be able to draw such a rainforest. He then says gorillas do name their newborns right away, the way humans do. We get to know our babies first. We wait to see hints of what might yet be. When they saw how much she loved to chase me around the forest, my parents decided on my twin sister's name, Tag. So here, Ivan says that like humans name their baby after they are born, they don't take much time to name the newborn baby, humans. Isn't it? When a baby comes to our home, newborn baby, what do we first do? We think for a name. But gorillas, they don't do so. Unlike humans, they observe the character of the baby, they observe what the baby likes, and accordingly they name the baby. So Ivan's twin sister, she loved chasing Ivan. She loved to run after Ivan around the forest, and so they named her Tag. Next page. Oh, how I loved to play tag with my sister. She was nimble. When I got too close, she would leap onto my unsuspecting father. Then I would join her and we would bounce on his belly until he gave us the grunt, a sound that meant enough. So here Ivan says that he loved playing tag with his twin sister, Tag. So children, as I've already told you, do not get confused. One Tag is, that is with a capital T, it is the name of the sister, name of his twin sister, which is a proper noun. And the other Tag is the name of the game. So he says he loved playing tag with her and she was nimble. Now what does nimble mean? Nimble means able to move quickly and easily. That is somebody who is very agile, somebody who is very active. So this little twin sister, she was very agile and active. She was nimble. When Ivan got too close to her, she would jump. Leap means to jump. Okay, leap means to jump. She would jump onto their unsuspecting father. So the father who was sitting there or maybe lying down, she would jump on his stomach and Ivan would later join her and they both would bounce on his belly. Whose belly? Their father's belly. Okay, belly means the stomach. Is to jump on that until the father, he gave a grunt like a sound that actually meant enough. Don't jump now. Stop jumping. Stop bouncing. Now children, what does the word unsuspecting mean? It means something that we do not know would happen. Okay, so here is the meaning. Unsuspecting. We are unsuspecting when we do not know that something is going to happen. Next is bounce. What does the word bounce mean? It means something that comes back. Okay, that is when you throw a cricket ball or maybe a basketball or any ball, when you throw it on the ground, what happens? It comes back with the same force. That is bouncing. Okay, so here he says that game never got old. This means Ivan says, which game is he talking about? He's talking about the game called tag. Okay, he says that game, they were never fed up of that game. They were never bored of that game. They loved playing that game. Although my father might have disagreed. So he says that his father would not have agreed to it. His father would not have allowed them to play that game every time, but they were in love with this game. Next page. Mud. Now, mud. What is mud? Mud is soil, wet soil. But here this mud means the name of Ivan. The name which was given to him by his natural parents. Now, as we already know that Ivan's twin sister, she got the name Tag because she loved chasing Ivan around the jungle. And why did Ivan get this name Mud? Let's find out. It did not take long for my parents to find my name. All day long, every day, I made pictures. I drew on rocks and bark and my poor mother's back. I used the sap from leaves. I used the juice from fruits. But mostly I used mud. And that is what they called me, Mud. So here he says that his parents didn't take much time to think of a name for him. Throughout the day, he made pictures, he loved making pictures, he drew pictures. And where did he draw these pictures? On rocks, on bark. Now what is bark? Bark is the outer layer, the outer skin of a tree, which is there on the trunk or maybe the branch, the hard, thick layer. That is bark. And my poor mother's back. So he used to draw on rocks, he used to draw on bark. And he used to draw on the back of his mother. He used to draw on his mother's back. And he said, what did he use to draw these pictures? He used sap from leaves, he used juice of fruit, and mostly he used mud. And so he was called Mud. Now what is sap, children? What do you think sap is? Now sap is the liquid in a plant or tree that carries food to all its parts. Now, if you have noticed, when you break or when you pluck the leaf, or maybe you break the stem of a plant, what happens? There's something fluid that comes out. It can be sticky, it can be thick. So this sticky liquid or maybe this fluid is called sap, and this liquid carries the food of a plant to all its parts. So he says he got this name mud. To a human, mud might not sound like much, but to me it was everything. So here Ivan says, to a human, for us mud is nothing. For humans, mud doesn't sound much, but for him it was everything, as it was his name given by his parents. Like we all love our names, which is given to us by our parents. Our parents have named us. We love our name. Similarly, he loved his name. Next page. Protector. Now, what does the word protector mean? Protector is somebody who safeguards, or something that safeguards, that saves you, is protector. Okay, now, right now, who's a protector? Your parents. You yourself are a protector. You are saving so many lives outside by staying inside your house. Okay, so protector. Ivan says, my family, which humans call a troop, was just like any other gorilla family. There are 10 of us, my father, the silverback, my mother, and 3 other adult females, a young male called a blackback, and 2 other young gorillas. Tag and I were the babies of the group. So he says that there were 10 in number. There were 10 members of the troop. So he says his family was just like any other gorilla family, and his family is known as what to us? A group of gorillas. What is it? It's a collective noun. A group of gorillas is we call it a troop. Okay, so he says in his troop, there was his father who was known as Silverback, because he was the leader of the troop. Now, who's a silverback? Silverback is an adult male gorilla with white or silver hair across its back. Okay, so he says that his father was the silverback, his mother was there were other 3 adult females, and there was a young male gorilla called what? Again, blackback. That is a young male gorilla. Then he says that there were 2 other young gorillas, and then Tag and he himself. They were the youngest one. They were the babies of the group. Now he says, we fought from time to time, but my father knew how to control us with a simple scowl. So what he says is, as children, they used to fight time to time. Tag and Ivan, they used to fight, and he says that his father knew it well, how to control them. He just used to give them an angry look. So what does scowl mean? Scowl mean an angry look. Look at this picture. The face of the look which is there on this gorilla's face, this is scowl. Your parents also must be making such faces when you irritate or when you do not listen to them, isn't it? Okay, keep quiet now. Don't do it. So, scowl means an angry face. It says now, and for the most part, we were happy to do what we were meant to do. To feed and search for food and nap and play. So this is what animals do. They look for food, they eat, they sleep, and they play. isn't it? So he says that I was very happy. Ivan was very happy doing things that were meant for him. That is to play. So this might come as a question again. Okay, to eat, to look for food, to take nap. And what does nap mean? It is a short sleep. It is a sleep that we take in the afternoon. Okay, short sleep. So, and play. But we humans, we do more than that. Even the babies, the children, they do a lot more than that. What do? They take nap, they play, they sleep, they do their homework, they help their parents, isn't it? They wash their hands regularly, they brush their teeth twice daily, and all these things. So that is why we are humans. So he says that my father was a master at leading us to the ripest fruit of our morning feast and the finest branches for our night nests. He was everything a silverback is meant to be: a guide, a teacher, a protector. So he says that his father was, as a leader, his father was a master, and he used to lead them to the ripest fruit in the jungle for their breakfast, for their feast. Because as animals, they have to search for their fruit, search for their food. And the finest branches he used to take them to, okay, the strong branches, so that, because gorillas, they sleep on the branches of the tree. So that when they sleep, the branches are not weak and they don't break at night in between their sleep. He was everything, he says, a silverback is meant to be. So a silverback should be a guide, a teacher, and a protector. Somebody who guides you, somebody who teaches you, and somebody who protects you. So his father was everything. Next page. A perfect life. So now Ivan talks about the perfect life which he has lived. Where? In the dense rainforest of Central Africa with his parents, with his troop, with his kind. So he says that gorilla babies, elephant babies, and human babies are not so different, except that a gorilla gets to spend the day riding on his mother's back. He says these babies, okay, gorilla babies, elephant babies, and human babies, they are not different. They need care, they need love. But the only difference is gorilla babies, they get to ride on their mother's back. Just look at the picture. See how sweet and cute the baby looks? Then he says, slowly, carefully, a young gorilla begins to go further and further away from the safety of his mother's arms. But gradually what happens? Slowly what happens? The baby, he gets away, he goes further away from his mother's arms. Why? Because he is growing up and he needs to learn the skills of life. Like even you all do, you stay as babies, as little ones, you stay at home, and then you have to go to play school, then you have to go to school, isn't it? So what happens? You have to leave your parents and you have to go out of your home without your parents. And you learn skills of life. Similarly, it says that slowly, gradually, what happens? They learn the skills of life. He says that he learns the skills he will need as an adult. How to make a nest of branches, weaves them tightly or they will fall apart in the middle of the night. So he says that he learns the skills. Now what are the skills? He has talked about the skills that a gorilla learns in his life. That is how to make a nest. Weave it tightly. Weave means to what? Let's say weave means to join, okay, to interlock, okay. So they need to know how to interlock or how to join the branches so that it does not break at night. How to, let's say, make a web of branches so that it does not fall apart in between their sleep. He also says that the skill how to beat your chest. Now look at this picture. This gorilla, he is beating his chest, is making a sound, and he beats his chest so that he can increase the volume. He can make that sound louder. Okay? He says cup your palms to amplify the sound. Now what does amplify mean? Amplify means make louder. Okay, to make something louder. You must be having amplifiers at your home. Now, how to move from tree to tree, don't let it go. So don't let it go here means without falling. Okay, so they also learn how to jump or how to swing from one tree to another tree. You must have seen gorillas or monkeys doing that. So swinging from one tree to tree, how do you think they know this? It is a skill they have learned with time. So without falling, without letting that branch slip off their hands. How to be kind, strong and loyal. So these are the skills, children, he's talking about that a gorilla's baby learn. Okay, so let's see. Let's say it again. What are the skills he talks about? He talks about the skill of weaving nest with branches. Okay, the skill of beating the chest to amplify the sound, the skill of moving from one tree to another without falling, and the skill of being kind, strong and loyal. So he says that as a young gorilla, you make mistakes. You play, you learn. You do it all over again. It was, for a while, a perfect life. So here, Ivan says that a young gorilla, he makes mistakes, he plays and then he learns. Like we do, isn't it? Like you do. Remember, when you had first started writing alphabets, you must have made so many mistakes. You did it again and then you learned. Okay? And you did it all over again. Or maybe while playing something, you did not know how to play a video game over the phone. You made mistake, you failed, you tried again, and gradually you learned it. Similarly, he says, a young gorilla also, he makes mistake, he plays and then he learns. He does it again and again, and that makes him perfect, that makes him skillful. So, it was for a while a perfect life. So, the life he's talking about is in the jungle, in the rainforest, dense rainforest of Central Africa. So, it was perfect for him. Next page. The end. One day, a still day, when the hot air hummed, the humans came. The end means the end of his life in the jungle, his life with his parents, his life as Ivan. It comes to an end when one day, it was a hot day and a very still day, a very calm and silent day, when even when the wind blew past, he could hear the sound, the humming of the wind. And that day the humans came. And what do you think the humans did there? They captured Ivan. Okay? Not just Ivan, they captured Ivan's twin sister Tag also. So children, This is it for day 1. Think of the questions that I had asked you in the beginning. If you are sent to a jungle to live with gorillas, how would you feel? Will you be happy or would you like to come back to your family? Think about this question. I'll talk to you tomorrow with the second part of the story, which would be the life of mud in a city. Life of Ivan in a city with humans. How will it be? Okay, till then, goodbye, take care, and do solve the questions that I have given to you. I'll be sending across the answer shortly. Thank you.